Good evening, folks. This is Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Friday, December 29th, 10 p.m. Mountain Time, 2017. You're looking at the departures from normal, otherwise known as the temperature anomaly map, and it's showing east of the Continental Divide, nothing but record cold, over 20 degrees departure from normal. As far south as South Carolina. Record cold in the U.S. and Canada has no end in sight. A running list of the records so far in this article. I will leave you links to all of these. Look how concerned she is. She's freezing. She doesn't look so concerned. The winter of 2017-18 has recently become a throwback to the winters of yore. The ones your parents told you about. You know, back when you had to walk uphill both ways to school in the blinding snow, 0 degrees, uphill. This time around, it's not just the severity of the cold that's getting people, it's also the duration. The most reliable computer model predictions show round after round of Arctic air moving from northern Canada down to the Midwest and then crashing into the eastern U.S. through at least January 10th. There's the possibility of a warm-up of sorts, dancing like a mirage on the long-term horizon after that. But that's a less reliable extended range forecast. That's a heads up. Grand solar minimum much? Winter hits U.S. from coast to coast with deep freeze, record snow. She knew she was being filmed. That's what's up there. The glow of a white Christmas is long gone. Now it's just winter across much of the Midwest and East Coast, where bitter temperatures and snow squalls have been blamed for a handful of deaths and canceled a long list of New Year's celebrations. Muskegon breaks 56-year-old snowfall record. More on the way today. Here are some more record temperatures set or tied in the last 48 hours. The list is long. Maine, Connecticut, Virginia, New York, Vermont. Hello, Kennedy, LaGuardia, Portland, Maine, Saranac, New York, Springfield, Vermont, Wallops, Virginia, New Philadelphia, Ohio, Du Bois, PA, Atlantic City. On and on. 1960s, 50s, and 60s going back for most of the records here. The 50s and 60s is going to put us back here during this cooling period of cycle 20. The weakest cycle comparative to cycle 24 that we're in. It would make sense that we would break these records because we're going to soon be breaking the centennial minimum records, which we already have this year, and going back to the Dalton minimum records because we're descending towards the Maunder minimum-like conditions. Watch heavy snow blanket Glasgow Airport as flights are suspended. We won't be watching that, but heavy snow is causing issues with transport across Scotland this morning. Glasgow Airport temporarily suspended flights this morning while snow has cleared from the runway. The airport was reopened at 10 a.m. Drivers across Scotland have also had a headache. It's a heads up. It's very snowy there. Travelers on the M8 were met with blizzard conditions, but Traffic Scotland are reporting that vehicles are traveling well now on the motorway. A lane has been shut on the M74. So heads up. Hailstorms devastate Mwanza. This is near the equator. 70 households in the area of Senior Chief Kanduku and Tradition Authority Nitache in Mwanza are in dire need of food and shelter after hailstorms have left them destitute. Some of the buildings collapsed from that hail in Mwanza. And this is people in the flood waters here trying to save single corn plants. That's how hungry these people are from the floodwaters. USGS Seismic update. Quakes of note. 5.1, Champarico, Guatemala. 5.7 in Papua New Guinea. 5.2 in Indonesia here. Sungapenu over in the west. In India, another 5.0. We are in a 6.0 or higher drought now at 21 days. That's a heads up. More frac quakes. We had a big one pop off here. Just got downgraded. This was initially going off at 4.1 in Topple. That was just 10 minutes ago. Now it's down to a 2.7. That's a heads up. There's a 3.8 in Northern California, 3.0 today. This was a 4.1 10 minutes ago. Thank you, USGS. The United Nations is also sounding the alarm about seriously high levels of carbon dioxide. Atmospheric levels of carbon dioxide hit a record high last year, and they're only going higher. Picture of the coal-fired power plants to scare you, so you pay your taxes, pay your carbon tax. Level of atmospheric carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas responsible for climate change, says no one in the world except the IPCC, grew at a record rate in 2016, reaching levels not seen in millions of years. Whew. Guys, if you don't know that this is the absolute opposite of the truth, you're going to know now. The CO2 levels that we are currently at are the lowest levels in recorded history. And this is known by every scientist, every geologist, every paleoclimatologist in the world. I'm going to leave you a paper, Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society A 40 million year history of atmospheric CO2. It's very detailed. They use foraminiferous shells, paleosols, and other ways to decipher the CO2 concentrations in the past. I'll let you look at this paper in full, but I'll describe some of the graphics. This is just the last 40 million years from the Eocene, Oligocene, Miocene, Pleistocene till today at 0. And you can see the atmospheric CO2 concentrations up to 1,200 parts per million 36 million years ago. But the Pleistocene, especially the modern period today, is the lowest CO2 concentrations in the last 40 million years. Not the highest for millions of years. It's the lowest. In fact, the last 3 million years is the lowest CO2 concentration in all of geologic history. The black is CO2. There was a time 300 million years ago during the Carboniferous that CO2 levels were back around 400, but that's exactly where they are today at 400. This is the current number today, 404, which is the lowest in recorded history of the time on the planet. The rest of the geologic time, the rest of the 600 million years that life has been on the planet here, much higher. This is the lowest level in recorded history. Now, if you look at the alarmist graphs, you're going to see all these CO2 graphs that are going up, 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 straight up. It's the man hockey stick. It's from all the fossil emissions. It's nonsense. And this is coming from the mainstream, straight from scientific literature. This is the atmospheric CO2 background from 1826 to 1960. There was a peak in 1940 that's higher than it is today, or as high. 404 were the measurements, up to 408 in 1943. But you will never get that information from NASA, NOAA, or anyone in the United States because they have a global warming agenda. And it's all up, 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 and up. Where's the 1940 spike up here to 480? This needs a spike up here and come all the way back down. This is nonsense. Do not believe this. This is garbage. Garbage in, garbage out, garbage, garbage. Facts. This is the lowest level of CO2 in recorded geologic history for the last 5 billion years. From 1840 to 1940. The lowest CO2 ever in recorded history. And we're all going to burn up when it comes up here as high as it was in 1940 again today. This is the current CO2 today, 400. Which is where we're back to today. Same as we were in 1942. Insect Armageddon. Ice Age Farmer covered this a month ago when it came out in October 29th. There's an alarming new evidence that insect populations worldwide are in rapid decline. The University of Sussex, the co-author of the new insect study, put it, we're on a course for ecological Armageddon because if we lose insects, then everything else is going to collapse in the biome. Insects will pollinate our food. The study tracked flying insects collected in nature preserves across Germany found that in 25 years, the total biomass of these insects declined by an astonishing 76%. And that's because of science. Not real science like we do on this channel, but because of science that is funded by multi-billion-dollar corporations that have no vested interest in the public, the health of the planet, the quality of your food, the quality of your life, the quality of your children's life. All they care about is selling $20.8 billion worth of poison that we're going to saturate the earth in. And we wonder why the insect population has declined 75% since numbers like this have been achieved. A mini ice age could happen within the next few decades. Guys, when I started doing the video, this headline said, global warming canceled here. And the headline has changed live while we're doing the video. That's scary. Apparently they weren't ready for that part. And now they agreed on might affect global warming. Not global warming canceled anymore, which was about an hour ago. It now might affect global warming. That's how quickly the ruse is being manipulated underneath of your nose. Earth could enter a mini ice age in 3 decades. That way you don't have any time to prepare. And then it just goes and it's a sock puppet repeating Maunder minimum, blah, blah, blah. I hope global warming will be overridden by this effect, giving humankind and the Earth 30 years to sort out our pollution. I mean, this is nonsense. Let's talk about the truth and what you need to be doing to prepare for the future, which starts now. You know we've been promoting Cold Times by Anita Bailey, PhD. There were some errors in the publication of this book, and the publisher got the wrong version. She has now fixed the errors. The book has been updated, and I have a special announcement for all you people. It's going to be available for free to everyone on January 1st, only for 24 hours. I don't know how this will work for international issues, so overseas readers might want to watch the Amazon address the days before and after January 1st to make sure they can get in for free. You need a Kindle reader. I'll leave you links to all this. This is the link for 1 day only, free corrected version, 100% free Kindle version of Cold Times by Anita Baker. Guys, we're also going to be giving away hard copies of this. We have several. Now we're going to be giving it away to our subscribers that can't afford the book. And we think that's important. And the way we're going to do it is we're going to have an essay contest. We want the people who are interested in a free copy of this book to send in their essays to oppenheimerranch@gmail.com on things that how you're preparing for the grand solar minimum. What are the steps you're taking to be self-sufficient and abundant and resilient in the coming times? What steps are you taking to prepare for the coming shift? And that's the topic of the essay. And we'll be sharing it with all you guys in the nightly updates so that you can learn what other subscribers are doing to prepare for the cold times coming. That's a heads up. Free copies. We're going to give out at least 3 of these babies. So we'll do 1 a week. So start sending us the essays on what your preparation and planning, because proper planning prevents piss poor performance during a mini ice age. And we'll let the community vote on the best essay. We'll put up a poll, and then we'll give out these books for free because we want to get them out into your hands. And we have several of them that you guys need to have in your possession. Guys, I hope you got something out of the video. Thanks for watching. Thanks to all our Patreons for supporting us. Be safe, everybody.